Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Ghostprime, and I'm going to take a look at Legacy Voyager class G2 Jhiaxus. Now, Jhiaxus first appeared in the issue #1 of the Generation 2 comics, and he's a fantastic character. He's actually not an Autobot or Decepticon. He is a Cybertronian, but he's a separate race of Cybertronians, and he abhors organic life. He sees them as lesser beings. So he set out with his band, his group, to go colonize these planets in kind of a Cybertronian tech. And lots of things happen in these 12 issues, and they're actually really dark, which is really cool. You should check them out if you haven't checked them out. I don't want to get too deep into them, but just know that it is dark for Transformers, and it's fantastic. I absolutely adore it. I'll put a link down in the description where I actually found them online, so you could actually just go through and look at them at your leisure. Now, this version of Jhiaxus is not the first we've gotten in the toys. There actually was a couple of, there was a BotCon one, and there was a Generations one based off the later comics of ID and IDW, which kind of took them in a different direction. This particular figure is off the original design for him by Derek Yaniger, and it does a fantastic job of encapsulating his design influences. It's a really cool figure. It's not without its problems. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, here's a look at Jhiaxus in the packaging. So he's got the same sort of packaging you see in all the Legacy. He's got some really nice box art here of his alt mode. And on the side, one thing I do want to point out that I don't know if you can get it in the light in there, but you kind of see it there. Red thing show up. So there's his weapons are here, and I can actually get my big ass hands in there. So if you find this guy in stores, just be careful to look down in there and make sure the weapons are still there, because they're super easy just to pull out of the little plastic pieces here. On this side, of course, you have the Decepticons, just like normal. On the back, you got robot to ship in 23 steps. Bottom is nothing. Top's got the Legacy logo. So let's get this guy opened up and check him out. Taking him out of the package, this is what he comes with. He comes with a gun, which is very nicely detailed. If we get that to focus again. No paint on it whatsoever, just cast in this red plastic, which I guess is kind of a shame, but I would love to see some detail. With all this detail on there, some paint would actually really bring this out, really make this pop. It's got some really good detail. Very, again, reminiscent of that Derek Yaniger art style. And he has another pistol. Now this is cast in a clear plastic, but it is painted silver and translucent smoky gray, I guess. And it's very thin. I guess it's because of the alt mode, but it's very, very thin. And then onto the figure himself. And here he is all armed up. He has two pistols. He has a couple different places that you could actually place them. There is 5mm ports here, here, and here. And there's also one on his back. As you can see, he has very little kibble on here. He does have this little bit of a backpack, which he actually did have in the comics. He has these, which are appropriate for his robot mode. Everything kind of cleans up really nicely in robot mode. One of the ports he does have that I forgot to show on his gun is right here in the back. And this one can't plug into it, so I don't know exactly what that's for. However, I think he looks pretty good. He cleans up really well in robot mode. Okay, and getting close on that head. His head sculpt is beautiful. Totally in that Derek Yaniger style. Tons and tons of detail. Three different colors of paint. Green, the metallic yellow, and the silver. It is just a phenomenal looking head sculpt. In fact, the sculpt work on this in general is just done really, really well. Even on the non-painted parts. You got the green showing up right there on his little missile launcher radar on the shoulder. You got a bunch of details showing up. White paint over, this is a whole translucent piece on his chest, and this metallic yellow shows up, and he's done a lot in white, so I hope he doesn't yellow. And there's more of that yellow showing up, the green wings on the legs with some silver accents for all the different wires going through his shins. All of it is really, really sculpted nice. I actually love it. It's all very G2. Even the back here, just done really well. Some of the pens show up in the back. And there we have, these are molded in like a yellow, same with the hands are molded in a yellow plastic. That kind of matches a bit the chest and the face. He does look just exceptional as far as the sculpt work is concerned. And for comparison, here he is with Earthrise Optimus Prime. So they actually scale appropriately. And Earthrise Sideswipe. I don't have the G2 one, unfortunately. Okay, now getting into articulation. First, we must take out the weaponry. And we'll move in close here and show his head. Now, his head is something I don't like. His head does move up and down. It is on a ball joint, but it is floppy, floppy, floppy. I mean, look at that. Maybe you can just tell by this, look. Sideways, it is super, super floppy. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I mean, yes, I could do floor polish probably. I don't really want to take it off. Now, it will stay like this, which is okay. So display-wise, it's fine. Your mileage may vary on this, but yeah, that's how mine is. This is a little looser than I would like it to. This keeps coming undone. It does slide in there, but this does have a shoulder. Can go most of the way around. It would be able to if it weren't for the wings, all the way up. Bicep swivel, more than 90 at the elbow. He does have finger articulation. I'm not really sure why, but it's there. That's cool to have. But he does have 360 at the waist. Leg articulation, goes up like that, kind of about that far back. Knee, pretty good knee articulation. He does have thigh swivel. And he has a bit of a rocker there. And he can kind of point, but he can't go up further. And even though that there is room, they didn't make that articulation there. Kind of a misstep in my opinion. Not too bad, but it would make for some cool poses if you could do that. But overall, it's done okay. I don't mind the articulation. I think it has some pretty good articulation on it. And now let's get into the transformation. It's actually really easy to do. And there is the jet mode. Now this is a lot of kibble here. It doesn't look so bad when it's on the ground like that, so it looks kind of like it's flying. But that is something to consider. However, I do like that there's red that shows up here. And I think that's actually inserted plastic and not paint. I think that's a nice touch. The green and the yellow, the colors really work. And it is very accurate to the mode, that how he looks in the comics. This is a little less sleek in the comic. It is a point. It works. It does really, really work. So the gun here could be placed in a slot or a peg hole there that go like that. And then this has a peg on the side there that could go, actually goes on this side because otherwise it won't fit with the peg. So there you go. This could also fit via the peg here. You could also put this gun under here, but he will not fit here because it is too large. It will fit here. It's obvious that they really strongly went to a very accurate bot mode at the detriment of the alt mode. Now, it's not super bad. I have heard some people say, oh, this is Voyager of the Year. Not at all, but it is cool. Let's get on to some quick comparisons. First up, here he is with Ramjet, G2 Ramjet. You kind of see how they fit together, how long they are. So they're about the same length. I mean, overall, same length. This one's a little higher up. You know, it's not too shabby. There he is with a deluxe car. But anyway, let's get on to some final thoughts about this guy. And should you or should you not add him to your collection? All right, so the good, bad, and ugly. So the good, fantastic robot mode. Absolutely fantastic. No kibble, no hollow bits, decent articulation. This was obviously made for his robot mode. He looks good in robot mode. I love the paintwork, pretty great. Some of the floppy joint thing, really bothersome. Do not like that at all. That is not acceptable. It just isn't. It ruins what is otherwise a really cool toy. His alt mode leaves some things to be desired as well, but are we really displaying him in alt mode? I think it's kind of cool that he just has one in general. He does use it in the comics, but he uses it sparingly. He's not always in his alt mode, so I would be displaying him like this, and he looks good. I mean, overall, I could definitely recommend him if you like the Generation 2 comics, or you like the character in general. He's cool. He's very different design aesthetics from the rest of the line, any of Transformers, really. And for that, it's a strong recommend. Definitely an off character, but a very cool one. So please, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs down button if you have to. Thanks for staying until the end. I'll see you guys in the next review.